Chapter 36. The chapter entitled O Man. Now, it'd be better to call it Yasin, because if it starts with those letters, Yasin, maybe we'd say YS, but yeah. Containing 408 verses written at Mecca. Reader, the Muslimin have entitled this chapter with 2 letters of the Arabic alphabet, IS, well, YS really. The Badawi faith that I signifieth is that to say a particular vocative, so the ya part, like O, and S is an abbreviation that signifieth insan, man. Well, there's variation to whether that could be the case. Every one of the abbreviated letter things finds its use, I guess, somewhere else. Well, actually, I don't know you could say that, but there's been interpretations, but the interpretations vary. At the very least, it refers to those letters in the chapter, because there's a particular thing that goes on with all 29 of those chapters. All 30 of those verses relate to the rest of those, the chapter in terms of that use of language. And the angel speaking to Muhammad began this chapter in this manner: O man, I swear by Al-Quran, see Tafsir Kitab al-Tanoir. In the name of God, gracious and merciful, Yasin, I swear by Al-Quran, full of doctrine, that thou art a prophet, sent to teach the people the right way. This book was sent by the Omnipotent and Merciful, that thou mayest instruct men in that which was not taught their predecessors. Certainly, what was said is true, viz., that the greatest part of them is incredulous. We will put a chain upon their neck and bind their hands to their very chin. They shall lift up the head to complain, but we will place before and behind them a great obstacle. We will cover their sight with darkness, and they shall not see a jot. Misery is upon them, whether thou dost reprove or not reprove them. They shall not be converted if thou preachest to them that believe in the Quran, and to such as believe in what they have seen, proclaim to them a general pardon of their sins and a very great reward. I make the dead to arise again, and write exactly in a book the good and the evil that men commit. Relate to them the parable of those of the city, whither thy Lord sent his prophets. We sent unto them 2 prophets. They slandered both of them. We succored them by a 3rd. They all 3 said to the inhabitants of the city, we are sent from God to preach to you his commandments. They answered, ye are but men like us. God hath not sent a sign to make you known. Ye are liars. They said, certainly God knoweth that he sent us to you. We are obliged only to preach to you his commandments. They answered, would ye make us misbelievers like yourselves? If ye end not this discourse, we will stone you and make you to suffer heavy torments. They said, be your evil with you, who have there heretofore so ill instructed you. Certainly you are wicked. Then a man came running from the utmost part of the city, who said unto them, O people, obey the apostles of God, Obey them that require no reward from you for the pains which they take in teaching you, and who are in the right way. Wherefore shall not I worship him that created me, and before whom he shall be assembled to be judged? Will ye worship another besides him? If it be his will to chastise me, your idols cannot save me. I should be extremely erroneous. Should I believe in your gods? Hear and understand what I say unto you. Nevertheless, they slew him and said unto him, Go into paradise, he said, in dying, would to God. This people knew the graces of his divine majesty, hath conferred on me. He placed me in the number of the blessed. After his death, we did not send unfallen angels from heaven to chastise the wicked. I will send them but once to destroy them. They shall one day be dumb, for shame that they have not followed the true believers, and of being mocked by them that I sent to preach unto them my commandments. Will they not consider how much people we have destroyed in times past, who are not returned, that shall be one day assembled before me to be judged? The earth, dry, dead, and barren, as a sign of my omnipotency for the wicked, we made it revive and became green again, and to bring forth fruits with which they were satiate. We there created gardens, date trees, and vines. We caused fountains to flow. They eat the fruits with which are not the works of their hands. Will they not acknowledge the works of their Lord? Praise is due to him that created the male and the female of all plants that the earth produceth, who created man and woman, and many other things of which they have no knowledge. It is a sign of my omnipotency to separate the day from the night, and to make the sun to run to his appointed place. We have appointed to the moon her signs, she goeth and cometh always. Through her old way the sun neither hasteneth nor retardeth his course at any time, neither doth join himself by night to the moon. The night cometh not until the end of the day, and all the with the moon, the sun, and the stars exalt my glory in the heaven. It is a mark of mine omnipotency to have borne their fathers upon the waters in the ark, and to have given them vessels like the ark to bear them. Had it pleased me, I'd cause them to be drowned without succor and salvation. I save them through my special grace until the time appointed. And the wicked despised the signs of God's omnipotency and scoffed when they were required to fear the wrath of his divine majesty, present and to come, and their iniquity shall be forgiven them. When it was said unto them, Give alms of the wealth that God hath given you, they answered, Shall I give him to eat, to whom God shall give bread, when it shall please him? They are in a very great error. They will inquire of you when the day of judgment shall be, and if ye believe it, tell them that they must expect but one sole voice that shall surprise them. They shall quarrel. They shall not be able to make their testament, neither return to see their parents. In the end they shall go out of their sepulchres and present themselves before God when the trumpet shall sound. Then shall they say, We are most miserable to have departed from our graves. Behold what God hath promised us. The prophets spake to us the truth, these that the world ought to expect but one voice. This day shall all men be assembled before their Lord. No injustice shall be done to any person, and every one shall be rewarded and chastised after his works. Such as shall go into paradise shall be in exceeding great repose, with all manner of contentment. They and their wives shall be safe from all evils, lying on delicious beds. They shall have all sorts of fruit, and whatsoever they shall desire. They shall be saluted on the behalf of the Lord, gracious and merciful. God shall say to the wicked at the day of judgment, depart ye this day from the company of the good. Did I forbid you to worship the devil, your open enemy, but to worship me alone, and that it was the right way? Did I not tell you that the devil seduced a multitude of the people? Ye would not believe it. Behold, hell that is prepared for you. Through your incredulity, I will that their mouth, their hand shall speak, and their feet shall be witnesses of their crimes. If we will, we can make the misbelievers blind. They shall find no way. They shall not be able to go or come, and shall be succored of none. Had it been our pleasure, we could have transformed them in their houses, and that had not been able to go forth. I will cast their head against the ground, and will render them infamous, whose life I shall prolong, and they shall not know their errors. We have not made them to understand the mysteries of Alcaron, but that was not necessary. It is but to preach to the living, who comprehend what is spoken of them. It is most true that the wicked shall be punished. See they not that we alone have created all the beasts of the earth, over which they command? We have made them subject to them. Some serve them to ride on, and others for their nourishment. Will they be ungrateful? Nevertheless, they have worshipped idols, partners. They adored what could not deliver them from the pains of hell. Afflict not thyself at their discourse. I know whatsoever they say, and all they keep secret in their souls. Doth not man consider that we created him of dust, and that he is too arrogant? God hath taught us how he formed his creatures. Nevertheless, the wicked have said, who is he that can give life to bones that are rotten? Say unto them, he it is that created you at first, and that knoweth what he created. He maketh fire to come out of the green woods, which ye burn, and created the heaven and earth. Cannot he create other creatures like unto you? Yes, without doubt, he createth what pleaseth him. He knoweth all things. When he willeth anything, he saith, be thou, and it is. Praise be he to whom all things appertain, and before whom you all shall return to be judged. Can't help but think of the green woods as a metaphor, something that wasn't meant to be burned, something that takes time to get it to the point where it's going to burn, as the human being that's been given something that's actually repellent of, we weren't meant for the hellfire, but people can work themselves towards that, right? And people can be brought out of their sepulchers, even the spiritually dead are going to be shown. Now, are you going to bring yourself out of spiritual death right here and now? Are you going to bring yourself out of your displeasure and suffering response? Yes, there are different levels of meaning with the scriptures, but there's something that happens with the scriptures that goes beyond that. It's more about the experience of doing, of practicing and believing the faith, more than analyzing the mysteries. Now, analyze mysteries. There's good to that, but the implication of those couple verses there really points out that it goes so much beyond that.